Hi everyone, I hope you are doing well. So today I actually wanted to make a little video for twin flames on why and when it might be possible that both the masculine energy and the feminine energy in the twin flame dynamic are actually both spiritual, what that looks like and how it actually plays out before union. Now, typically, to have the masculine energy and the feminine energy both doing inner work at the same time is rare. What we typically see in the twin flame dynamic is the feminine energy is the one leading in the connection, who generally becomes aware of the connection first and begins to find out what the journey is about, does her research, really goes into her intuition and starts following the path to do that inner work, which then, leads the masculine energy to catch on and also do the energetic work as well with Kundalini rising through both the twins. However, we do have scenarios where the masculine energy and the feminine energy are both spiritual. Now, just taking a look at Lord Shiva and Shakti Ma, for example, Lord Shiva was actually an ascetic, very much devoted to his inner practice and practice of meditation and doing that inner work, regardless of Shakti Ma still being the one that really ignited that connection before the two of them came together. So similarly, we really have that happening in the 3D as well with twins. Now, to answer why this may actually happen for some twins and not others, it really boils down to your contracts. When you see a masculine energy being really devoted to their inner path, it's only because it's tied into their soul contract based on previous work they've done, because twin flames are really old souls. They've been around, they've done a lot of their inner work, which is why they've come back at this time to help out humanity, raise the consciousness of the planet. And so really it's completely possible that the masculine energy is devoted to their inner work. And really this could be tied into the soul purpose that they have to actually fulfill. And in some cases, it has to be done before union can occur. It all depends on what your contract actually looks like. So just to answer whether or not this is really possible, the truth is, yes, it is. I have personally actually seen it in a couple of twins. And it's really because the, masculine energy and the feminine energy both are very much dedicated to their inner work, but they're also, leading their missions, doing their work, whatever their soul-led purpose and path looks like, before they can actually come into union. Now, another thing to consider if this might be your situation is that just because the masculine energy might be, doing their meditation, might be more spiritually inclined, does not mean that they are awakened to the twin flame connection. Remember, the feminine energy actually acts like a magnet that draws in the masculine energy when it's time. And it may be that the feminine energy still needs to do the inner work. They both need to complete their soul contracts, complete their karma, complete their healing journeys, complete their soul missions before union can occur. So all of this could play out a little bit differently based on, the individual twin flame journey. However, the possibility of this can definitely take place. Now, as much as the twin flame, collective is really kind of focused on coming into union, there is always that possibility that twins by free will, decide actually not to come together in union. And, you have to understand that eventually, once you reach that place of unity consciousness, you may no longer have the desire for your twin the same way. You are just so busy being in the present moment, leading your mission, and finding pure joy and fulfillment from that place from within, that you no longer seek that sort of desire, that fulfillment on the outside. And so, until you are really at that place, it's hard to appreciate that this might be the reality of some twin flames. But this is actually common, that a lot of twin flames, once they reach this inner peace, under understanding that there is no more separation. They no longer long to be with their twin. And so that is definitely a possibility that could play out in the twin flame journey and in the twin flame dynamic. Thank you so much for listening. I really hope this was helpful. God bless.